Hola, cage fighting connoisseurs. This is Kid Native Bloody Elbow. I mean, King Native Bloody Elbow.com. Joined once again by Eugene S. Robinson, author of Fight Something, Something, Something. Everybody.
Oh, man.
We're here.
It really gets worse and worse, doesn't it?
It's because
the kid. It's like Mr. Larry, Mr. Siegel, Mr. Larry. You know why you don't know what to call me, LaRue? Because you never come and see me. You know, Mr. King, Mr. Nate, Mr. Kid, Mr. Nate. Come on.
Exactly. So we're here for the Care Don't Care preview for UFC 199. Rockhold versus Weidman. No! Rockhold versus Bisping, too. Mm-hmm. This is what we get. I didn't even want Rockhold versus Weidman, but because...
Oh, I did. That was like getting to see the Titanic the real time. You know.
Well, yeah, you've been hating on your
No, I've not been hating on him, man. He's just put himself in a really weird position where it's a morbid fascination that's taken hold. You know,
definitely emphasis on morbid because the guy seems to be. Well, he's standing out by the woodpile, but he's also circling the drain. It's sad to see because he was a great champion for.
Well, but he's not alone, man. I mean, McG is doing this thing where he's like, yeah, man. I had Nate the first 8 minutes. You see that? I mean, Jesus, are you fucking serious?
It's a lot like reviewing World War II with Admiral Tojo and the gang. We had him. Did you see Pearl Harbor? We had him. Yeah.
Hey man, it's like that it's like that guy. You know, you get into the street fight and the guy kind of gets fucked up. And then, like, for the next hour at the bar, he's kind of reliving, like, oh man, I almost had him that time. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, you almost had him.
Yeah, there's some people that it's not even worth beating them up because you're not going to win even then.
And again, Nate displays himself to be a fucking master at the game that McG is trying to play because, you know, a lesser talent will start arguing the points of fact with him. You know, oh, you did. Nate is just completely quiet. Outside a hashtag white belt, you know.
Yeah, there's not a lot to say. People saw the fight, but we need a disclaimer, Eugene.
Disclaimer: crybabies and bedwetters. This is not a referendum on your skills and talents as a human being and/or a fighter, but more a commentary on the marketing heft and weight that the Bald One and your parent organization has put behind you. If you don't like being on the don't care list, you know, fight for the fences and fight a fight that we remember and that is interesting and move from don't care to care. Until then, don't come whining to us. It happens. Paul Felder went from don't care to care. You know, the question is how many guys have gone from don't care to care and back to don't care again? Now, a more sage student of the arts will have to tell me, but I'm sure there's some.
There's quite a few. And there's guys like Bisping or Dan Henderson that we'll get to in a little bit that were.
I'll tell you one that popped to my mind immediately. Eric Silva.
Yes.
He showed some early promise and moved from don't care to care, and then he squandered that, and now I don't give it. You know, I'm sorry, man. I just don't care what you do.
With a guy like that, I'm kind of drawn into the story once I've gotten to know him, I'm invested, and except the reality is you only care if he's against an opponent that will further this narrative of his complete collapse. You know, if he's fighting somebody that won't add that narrative like a scrub, you know. If I saw him beating up a scrub, I'd care about that. That'd be totally fine. I mean,
yeah, but then it's like how many hand jobs is Zuffa going to give the guy? You know, you're okay, buddy. You're okay, buddy. Thanks.
Probably not that many. They're not that. Anyway, let's dive into this. We got 4 fights on Fight Pass. Again, this is UFC 199 coming to us on Saturday night, live from Las Vegas. No, from Inglewood, California, at the Forum. And it starts off with 4 fights on UFC Fight Pass.
Saturday night, June 4th.
Yes, starting with lightweights Polo Reyes and Dong Hyun Kim, but not the Dong Hyun Kim we know as Stun Gun. This is
man, you almost eked the care out of me.
Yeah.
You know? No, I don't. Sorry, don't care.
Yeah, no, me neither. All right, so now we've got middleweight.
And I have to tell you, this last fight night that I was watching when I was in Poland, this last fucking fight night, man, I watched every single bitter drop of that. And I have to tell you, honestly, sometimes the don't cares we're right on the money.
Yeah, the fights just kind of wash over. Although there were, I managed to catch up, and I think the main event, the co-main event, and I even thought that the George Masvidal fight was pretty good.
No, yeah, but those were fights that we cared about. But the ones that we didn't care about, those stayed don't cares, right? So
yeah, nothing broke out of the pack. Although reading about Masvidal Larkin, I thought it was going to be a dud, but when I watched it was actually quite good.
Well, he got robbed too. So, but you know what? But no. But let me tell you something. This is something people say. Oh, yeah, I know guys in the comments and knuckle up and say, "Yeah, Eugene, you fuck you. He didn't get." But I'm going to advance the argument a little bit and say that guys who get robbed, you get a categorical stink on you, right? Which by which I mean guys that get robbed are more likely to get robbed. Sly Stone said it best. Some just love to learn, and some you just love to burn. And once you get, I don't know what it is, it gets in the air, it gets in the water. But once people it's like that great line from that Humphrey Bogart movie. He goes, "Wish me luck, Shamus. I got a raw deal. Your kind always does."
It's true. Man. It's true. I got to bring up my favorite biblical verse, Mark 4:25. To he that hath shall be given, to he that hath not shall be taken away.
How do you like that? The Bible. This is where Martin Luther comes up with, if you see a homeless person on the street, break his arm and send him on his way with much additional knowledge.
Well, later, Jesus wasn't making a moral assessment there. He was saying, this is how it is, kids. Yeah, and if you look at the world, that is how it is. So,
you don't have anything. All right, man. We're going to take that nothing you have.
Yes.
I remember an old Peanuts comic strip where Lucy Van Pelt systematically takes everything away from Linus, and then he's left sitting on a dirt pile with his thumb, and then she runs by and he snatches a thumb out of his mouth.
She's thorough. She's thorough. What can we say? All right, so now moving right on. Middleweights, Kevin Casey and Elvis Mutapcic.
Yeah, okay. Anybody care about Kevin Casey and Elvin Mutapcic?
Elvis.
Bullshit. Really? No, they're bullshitting. Yeah. Nobody here cares.
Yeah, Kevin Casey.
Why do you care about Casey? Yeah, he's serious.
He cares about Kevin Casey.
Yeah. He said the guy who went to Hollick Gracie's jiu-jitsu tournament. He did something interesting.
Well, there you go.
And he lost. I still don't care. Oh yeah, he lost against Keenan Cornelius in a Hollick Gracie jiu-jitsu.
Well, Keenan's really good.
Yeah, Keenan's great. Yeah, especially now that he's gotten away from. And anyway, let's not talk. We don't need. All right.
So light heavyweight, Jonathan Wilson versus Luiz Henrique da Silva.
Sorry, man.
No, me neither. All right, and usually they put a big fight on the Fight Pass card just to get people paying attention. Here's what we got this time. Welterweight, Sean Strickland versus Tom Breese.
Oh, yeah. I think I care.
Do you? Because?
I'm feeling because of Tom Breese.
Tom Breese? Really? Why do you care about Tom Breese?
What's Tom's fight nickname?
It's not Summer. It's not a cool Summer Breeze.
It should be cool.
Yeah. No, it's the Octopus.
Idiot. Idiot. Tom Octopus Breeze. You got to be kidding.
But he's undefeated, although he's been facing, he did beat Cathal Pendred, but
which I saw, and I picked Breeze then, and I care because of Breeze, and Strickland has actually done some stuff, but I'd care enough to pick Breeze again, despite his complete fail of a fight nickname.
Well, Strickland, if he hadn't lost to the infamous Santiago Ponzinibbio, the blogger's least favorite fighter, would be undefeated too. So there's some juice here. So, they've been pushing the younger fighters, and maybe this is part of that. Strickland's only 25. All right, so now we're on to the 4-fight Fox Sports 1 prelim card. Featherweights, Cole Miller and Alex Bruce Leroy. Caceres.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
You have a pick.
Man,
a long delayed fight.
I really like Bruce Lee, Alex Caceres, and his brother. I interviewed on Knuckle Up. His brother is also a fighter. We had that weird kind of Eskimo brother moment, but I don't know that Cole. You know what? The Millers are unreliable.
Yeah, and Cole's not what he used to be.
Yeah, they're unreliable producers. So, and I think Alex has still got some of the fire in him. So I'm going to pick. I care, and I'm going to pick Alex.
Yeah, I'm torn here though because Miller's got the kind of jiu-jitsu fundamentals that tend to get Alex in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And
what do I know, man? I only got 2 right this last week. All right. What the fuck do I know?
Well,
I might as well have picked sausages.
Some say
who's your pick, Eugene? Sausages.
I love sausages, bangers and mash.
Hefty garbage bags. What are you talking about? I don't know.
Bratwurst in Eastern Europe. I mean Central Europe. Sorry.
I only eat fish, man. I had some fantastic herring though. That was a big specialty, like crazy. Some smoked, caught that day, so it was really pretty good. Caught that day by a guy who I had almost had the fight before the evening was out, and then the punchline was at the height of the most heated, where I was like, "Listen, man, I'm fucking telling you." I go, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" And that's my way of checking to make sure the guy's not a cop, right?
I see.
So he didn't know how close he did that. There's a familiar 2-step. I'm not asking just to ask, and the guy goes, "I'm a psychologist," which all of a sudden it made everything make sense. I go, "With what field of focus?" He goes, "Education." And I was like, on the next knuckle up, I will tell you what extreme price I had to pay as a result of doing knuckle up for fucking on no sleep and not sleeping the next day. It was a steep price, my friend. It was a steep price. I'm not going to tell it. I don't want to bring down this show with disgustingness, but I sacrificed a lot to do that show.
I see.
In terms of public social standing and high levels of embarrassment, I'm not going to tell any more than that. You have to tune in and knuckle up.
Wow. Well, I hope it was nothing like the bad watermelon my daughter and I ate this weekend.
I saw that picture of her, man. She didn't look like she was happy with it.
Well, she kept going back and eating more of it, and then I think it's what made her poopy. So, we were the only ones that ate it, and we were the ones that had the stress. Anyway, so Miller, Caceres. You're picking Bruce Leroy. 3-4 years ago, I would have picked Cole Miller in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But I got to go with Bruce Leroy here, too. I just think time has passed Cole by a little bit.
Yeah. And I knew this guy who trained with him and said he's got hands like pillows. So,
well, that's
a nice photo. That's the cop with his underwear.
Cop standing there holding his underwear or wearing it?
He's sexually harassing me. That's what's happening.
I see. I hear that you're a victim of a lot of that. All right, so women's strawweight, Jessica Penne versus Jessica Andrade.
My ass is still hurting from this last week with Jessica. I had it within her grasp and said, but I like the fact that she was in Sarah's head in a weird way. But okay, what Andrade and Penne?
Yeah.
What is that song? Everywhere I choose, I lose. I'm gonna go with Andrade because I'm a Brazilian ovary jumper.
I see.
Predated. I care.
Yeah, I care, and I'm gonna go with Penne because she just fought for the title and lost, but acquitted herself fairly well. Made it to the 3rd round with the champ. I got to go with Penne over Andrade. She's lost 2 out of her last 3. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, things are getting quite interesting. Now we've got lightweights: James Vick versus Beneil Dariush.
Yeah, I care.
Yeah, and Dariush, man, people thought his grappling was tight, and then he got himself submitted by Caceres, and I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I know. I picked him, and you know what I'm going to do?
You can pick him again. Zionist.
We got an Israeli guy here. He would have loved to have heard you say that. He's taken off. He was complaining today about I'm not competing against anyone. I'm competing against myself. I go, good. I'll remind you that next time I choke you out. You got beaten by you again, buddy.
I can't quite bring myself to pick James Vick to beat Beneil Dariush.
Yeah.
I think Dariush is going to be back on the horse after that last one.
We call that a wake-up call.
Yeah, but Vick is undefeated, and I think Dariush is too much of a step up. But it's tempting to try to
see. But I don't want you playing cautious just because of smirk. There's no need to.
He's already ruined everything. It's a total,
Oh, hey, look, I got the Oxbow shirts, by the way.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. So
that doesn't look like the Thin Black Duke.
It is, man. Well, you can't be literal. Some guy was asking me, "Hey, man, I thought Oxbow was a 4-piece." It's like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
People are stupid, Eugene. Don't forget
Didn't you read where I said no stupid questions? Come on.
No, you can't. That's self-defeating. I'm gonna pick James Vick just to make it interesting.
Yeah, sure. All right. Good luck. Good luck to you.
Yeah. All right.
Good luck to your partner.
Now we've got featherweight Brian Ortega and Clay, the Carpenter Guida.
This makes me sad.
Yeah, Guida's. Coming.
I'm sorry. I'm not. I just can't. I can't pick Guida, man. I can't let it continue. I can't. Like when you talk to kids and you say, "Oh, you're only encouraging him." At this point, I can't in good conscience. They would have had to pick a different opponent for me to feel good about picking him here, and I'm not.
So it's a care.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, it's a care.
It's a care, and you're picking Ortega, or you're refusing to pick?
Man, Ortega's unreliable too. Fuck.
Well, he's undefeated, other than a no contest. That when he tested positive for draw standalone. So.
Oh yeah, that stuff stays in your system a long time. That's good shit. Yeah, but
his
fights with differing degrees of intensity. All right.
He's got a lot of finishes. I got to go with Ortega in a big way.
Yeah, I think Ortega's a safe bet. But why are they doing this to fucking Guida, man?
Well, I think they needed somebody with some kind of name value to headline the Fox Sports 1 card. I think they want to get Ortega over on Clay's broken body. That's my guess.
Yeah, okay. All right. It's fucking sad, man. It doesn't make me feel good.
Well, yeah, but Guida's annoyed me enough that I don't feel that sad about it. I mean, the fight with Gray Maynard, I'm still smarting over when he just danced.
That was horrible. Yeah. Yeah. And he's a union guy. He's still got a pipe fitting job somewhere, a carpentry job somewhere. I need some work done at my house. I need a deck built. So he come through. Maybe.
So are you insulting union men? Is that what
I'm union.
You're union?
Yeah, fuck yes I am.
And the journalists union?
No, not that one.
I see. What union then?
Screen Actor Guild, baby.
I see. What about the
look for the union labels? When you was up, okay.
but Oxbow's a scab band. You're not in the American Federation of Musicians.
You got that right, man. It was weird. We played some show at a hotel, a Holiday Inn, and so the union rep came. You guys remember the union? I go, where the fuck have you been? Where you been, buddy?
Yeah, I checked out about 1945, I think. And the difference between the Screen Actors Guild and the American Federation of Musicians is pretty staggering.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's how one man can be a loyal unionist.
That was my old band Whipping Boy, and some guy was paying us the most we had ever been paid before, which was $1,500. We were playing the basement at the Holiday Inn, and he was institutionalized that night. How do you like that?
Did you get your money though?
Yo, we got the money, and then later on at like 3 a.m, he was running. He had a spray painted silver cowboy hat, boots, and a cape, and was running around the hotel with a bullhorn, telling people that the aliens were coming and that they should flee. And they got him, and he had just come into a trust fund or an inheritance. It went from trust fund to inheritance. He had just turned 21. And he bought a shitload of cocaine, and woo! And that night they put him in. His name was Ted. They put him in. And the next time I saw him after that, he was working at the front desk at Tower Records and was as happy as could be. The family had clawed back the inheritance, so he didn't squander it. And I'm assuming when you get that kind of money, you develop a set of a Greek chorus of people around you who are bad people. And so he was, those guys had left, and he seemed to be doing all right. So
well, good, a happy ending there, and lessons learned. Yep.
And I didn't give the money back.
Well, definitely not.
I didn't give any to the union rep who tried to sleaze us out of well, you need to pay $50. Get the fuck out of here. I tell you what, I'll give you $50 if you blow me. Ever the diplomat.
Yes, charmingly said. All right, so now on to the main card.
Yeah.
5 fights, pay-per-view, Saturday night, June 4th, UFC 199 opens.
I mean, and it should be said. People is like, we're nattering nabobs of negativity. We cared about 5 fights. That's what I have down here. So
yeah. This is not a bad card at all. But it's not a perfect card. But I think it opens pretty strong. Lightweight, Dustin Poirier versus Bobby Green.
Yeah, of course.
Is Bobby Green a gigged?
Bobby Green is like one of those guys, man, who his biggest failing is not his skill set or his athleticism.
It's his relentless tendency to nutshot people?
No, not even that, man. It's that, it's like that thing from Apocalypse Now where even the jungle wants him dead. Dude needs to. You ever wonder about these guys who like get assassinated keeps going back to this fucking neighborhood that, killed his brother and they shot him. And it's like, man, you gotta, just change your pace. Why don't you move to England?
Have you ever been to the Inland Empire?
Yes, it sucks. There's absolutely no reason to fucking be there, man. And
I'm not there, and it's all you've got to be traumatized, and it's very hard to get out. Like my hometown is very comparable to the Inland Empire in a lot of ways. Middle of nowhere. The jobs there are heavy industry and very hard. A lot of hard, tough, mean people with no concept of the world beyond. It's very hard to break out of that trap. You know
what? I was an asshole New Yorker for a long time, and I remember. Yeah, I probably still am. And I remember me and some buddies of mine were talking about loser states, and this is before I'd ever left New York. So I'm like, you got New York, you got LA, you got Chicago and Florida, and as far as I'm concerned, the rest of Boston, the rest of the country, loser states. You could blow up Oklahoma. Who gives a fuck? And then somebody said, well, what about Las Vegas? And the guy goes, Las Vegas is full of fags. I mean, this is like New York 1979. I don't know where he got that from, but this was our, if you drew a map of the United States, there was LA, Vegas, Chicago, Miami, Boston, Philly, New York. That's it.
With Vegas as too open-minded.
Nebraska, loser state. Kentucky, loser state. Alabama, loser state. North Carolina. I mean, you could just go. So I understand this kind of tribalism, this weird localism that is. But you know what? Nobody was shooting at me in New York.
And you fled for Stanford at the first
and I still recognize the benefit of somehow changing your perspective just a little bit. I've always wanted to go to California, and I keep in mind I didn't go to LA. I came to Northern California just because I figured, well, Stanford's half an hour from a beach, and it's half an hour from a major city, and the male-female ratio at Stanford is like 3-2, so I got a better chance. I actually, number 3 on my list was going to be Wesleyan, because it was like for every every 5 women there were 4 men. I was like, I got the edge. But Wesleyan, I don't want to stay back.
I think the math might have been skewed by some factors you weren't calculating.
As a young man, I wouldn't have been so much thinking about that. So about sapphic tendencies.
Yes. All right. So Poirier, Bobby Green. Are you picking Poirier?
I should.
And you care. I
started out with the fact that I care, and I really should pick Poirier. You know what? I got to pick Poirier. I really want to pick Bobby Green like as an attaboy. I want to cheer him up. And the one, I think he probably doesn't watch the show, and then the 2, I just I don't know, man. I mean, where's he been training?
That's a good question. I do not know. And Poirier's got a streak going ever since he moved back to lightweight. And he's not a gigged. I think you know what you're getting with Poirier.
So
I gotta go with Poirier as well. All right, so now we come to the sadness. Middleweight, Hector Lombard and Dan Hendo Henderson. Neither of these guys is what they used to be. Both of them.
First of all, I care, right?
Yes, definitely care about both guys.
Man, this makes my heart heavy. I can feel it inside.
Yeah, it's the one.
You got it going on. You got the no teeth. You got the hot wife with no teeth. Stop, man. Your kids seem to be happy, healthy. You got a little ranch going on. What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, Hendo's not the kind of guy that's going to stop on his own. That's been made abundantly clear. I think the only rainbow here is that with the new PED regimen, Hector Lombard is not quite the Hector Lombard.
Yeah, but don't buy that. Don't buy that shit. I'm glad that medical science has finally confirmed what I once knew, and that's that a year clean doesn't minimize. You have a continued there's a continued benefit of your time on steroids well up into 12 months after cessation of use. So and in fact, I would say the positives start to accrue where he's developed less muscle that has to be fed and could probably, it's probably given more time. Yeah, more stamina. So,
and Hendo, also a former TRT user, is now without the juice too. So
yeah.
It's just sad because Dan Henderson was a guy who was a lion of a man. I mean, it's like he was made out of steel wire, and now he gets hit and he falls down.
I got a text from somebody who was clearly a sadist. He says, Hendo said it might be his last one. Sad. I wanted to see him fight Jacare, Romero, Rumble, and Bones. That's a sadist. And I don't like Lombard. I'm sorry, I don't like him. But
does anyone like the guy? I mean, he's sometimes fun to watch, but he's certainly likable. Is not the
he's a Hillary Clinton of MMA. How about that?
Well, I haven't heard anybody allege that he's leaked government secrets.
Which is better than being the Hitler of MMA, but I'm going to have to pick Lombard, man. I care, and I'm going to have to pick Lombard. The
difference is Hitler got elected. That's the thing. We'll see if Hillary...
Hitler was elected too.
Yeah, exactly. But when Hillary wins the big one, then we can put her in the big leagues. I don't know, man. Hector Lombard. I got to pick Lombard. You're picking Lombard?
I'm picking Lombard.
Yeah, but it's not with any joy.
I mean, we haven't seen Hendo do anything wrestling worthy in a long time, so that would have been
even at his best in MMA, he was never a good wrestler. I mean,
he was supposed to be great, but I just never saw it in the cage,
He had the big punch, and occasionally when he focused, he could keep himself from getting taken down, but mostly just didn't give a shit about being taken down, and was able to get back up. And I mean, I'm sure the decades of Greco-Roman helped in ways that aren't obvious, but stylistically.
I don't know what his plans are, but they for sure are going to talk to him. They're going to talk to him after this one if he's not talking to them first.
We'll see. They don't seem to like Hendo much, and never have. So
no, because he's an old school guy. It's just hard. I mean, I remember when I slept on Youth of Today. And I mentioned this to Harley Flanagan from Cro-Mags. I was like,
"Are you saying that you like Youth of Today now?"
I'm saying that I because of the benefits of iTunes Shuffle, that when one of their songs would come on, I'd go, "Who the fuck is this?" And I look, it's Youth of Today, and then I became like sort of online friends with Ray Capo, because he became a jiu-jitsu guy. So he emailed me about something. This is like 8 years ago. He was a purple belt, so I'm sure he's kept it up. It's probably a black belt somewhere now. And I just had to say, hey, man, I got to apologize. I slept on you guys. And I mentioned this to Harley, and Harley's first comment was, you mean those kids from Connecticut? And the thing is, once somebody's provenance, it's hard to. So Hendo remembers, the bald one from when he had a full head of hair, was a cardio kickboxing instructor. It's hard for him to take, it's a Joe Pesci moment from frickin' Goodfellas, go get your shine box. How is Hendo going to take him seriously now? Yeah, oh, you're a big guy now. Great. Really? Yeah, hey, why don't you go get me my catering tray, So I think that's the key to why they haven't gotten along. So.
Maybe. And he definitely stayed with Pride all the way to the bitter end. Yep, so we got to go with Lombard, but I don't know. I don't want to root for a terrible fight because there's a possibility that Lombard will walk in, just be gassed from just walking to the cage, and then they'll huff and puff and walk around in circles.
Where's the fight again? It's in Vegas?
It's in California.
So we got no altitude issue there. We'll see.
We'll see. Plenty of parking and traffic issues, but no altitude issues. So, all right.
Smog.
Yes. So, moving on, featherweight, Max Holloway and Ricardo Lamas.
Yeah, I care. This is a big care.
These are two hard-nosed dudes.
And I'm a big Holloway booster. I don't make any claims of of being rational about this one. And Lamas in my mind has been inconsistent. So
he's one of those guys I think who has peaked and now is just sort of trying to find his place. Like he knows he's not going to be. Chad Mendez taught him a lesson, I think.
Yep.
And I don't think, and I think Max Holloway is going to teach him a lesson too. I think Holloway is on a hot streak. He's very skilled. He's got title fever.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Lamas.
Title fever counts for a lot.
Yeah. So I don't see Holloway screwing this up, and should be a painful night for Ricardo Lamas. So that brings us to the bantamweight co-main event: champion Dominick Cruz against Urijah, the California kid Faber, in a fight I believe they've been trying to set up since 2012.
Man, I've come late in life to love Cruz. I really like this guy.
He's a dick for sure.
I like that's exactly why he is one of those guys who, you know, like there's the unlikable guy who really wants to be liked, earning your contempt because of his pathetic need for acceptance, and there's the unlikable guy who doesn't care about being liked, and that guy I love.
You know, the dynamic between these two cats reminds me of Don Fry and Ken Shamrock back in the day. Because
right. And the reality of it is they're the same type of guy. That's what the problem is, right? But
Don Fry's a bit more of a dick, I think. And he's a bit more self-aware that he's a dick.
Yeah, Don Fry almost got shot in dealing with me, so yes.
Yes.
There's another guy, a big music industry. I used to be editor-in-chief of EQ magazine, and there's this big guy, big name, got his music instrument guy, big name, right? And he's talking to me, and it's like he's forgotten that he's like 68 years old, and he's talking to me about like being on the road with like Pink Floyd or Jimi Hendrix. He goes, yeah, man, and they had these little girls up front, 12, 13-year-olds. I was like, I can't be friends with this guy. You are no longer 17, man. You can't be macking on 13-year-old girls and be 68 years old.
But he was flashing back to when he was.
Hey, man. Jag, that was it. I'm the father of 3 daughters, man. I said, like LA Confidential, you were lucky to get out of that conversation without a slap.
It is awfully gross, but it does seem to have been a different era, because.
Hey, man, yeah, I know. Well, and I remember my mother said when Roman Polanski got busted, and she was like, "This is not the 13-year-old girls you find on the block. These girls are hanging out at Hollywood parties at 13. They're not the same."
Although the girl in the Polanski case, I think was more innocent than
she was, and that's what you found out in the long run. It's like fuck Polanski. And, that's what it was. Duda, who is like the super crazy Catholic, propped up president of Poland right now, is rescinded. It looks like he's trying to rescind Roman Polanski's protection order to make him open for extradition to the United States. In essence, trying to drive Polanski out of Poland. But
I thought Polanski was in Switzerland. What's he doing?
Yeah, he's not. But he's just closing off another. It's like, you know what? After Obama wouldn't meet with Duda, he was like, I need to do something here to up. I don't know. Okay, so Polanski, you come to Poland, we're gonna hold you for extradition. So he's closed off Poland as maybe a sop to America. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Polanski, what a miserable fate. Made some big life mistakes, that dude. But his peers like Warren Beatty and these guys were doing the same shit. They just didn't get called out or get charges pressed against them. I mean,
yeah, well, Elijah Wood, he came out and then clawed that shit back pretty quickly. But I guarantee you, it was his agent that clawed him back. I remember.
Well, it was also the fact that he said in the first interview, "I have no firsthand experience of this. My mother kept me away from the parties where bad things happened." It's like, so did my mom. I'm not running my mouth about parties I wasn't at.
Right. I mean, well, but you've seen this with the Renfro and the Bryan Singer thing, and it's like. Yeah, I mean, people are not going to change their fucking preferences. Here's a guy I went to high school with who became a big gossip columnist for the New York Post, who was actually fairly successful, Timothy McDara. And he got caught in some fucking, To Catch a Predator sting and actually fucking went down, man. Went to Attica for like 5 years or 6 years or something. And it was kind of a thing in the group listserv. Like when he got out of prison, he signed back up for the listserv, and people were like, it was a thing, right? Okay, so one of the high school teachers that everybody liked, including me, his name was Mr. Mechanic, married this woman named Jenny Aimler, who was a classmate of mine, and Mechanic fucking died, right? And everybody's going on and on.
Mechanic married a student.
Mechanic married a student after she had graduated from high school.
What was the age gap?
Mechanic, it's hard to tell with these teachers, man. I mean, when I was 17, somebody was 38, seemed like he was, whatever. And maybe he was 38. She was 17 when they started messing around. And now he was macking on a friend of mine, and she got really angry with him because she turned him down. But she started to think that he was being mean to me because he thought that these guys were completely enculturated. They were part of that youth culture. Their sense of boundary was really bad, right? So he gets married to this woman, and then they're doing all these, like, people like, oh, I remember Mechanic, and he was such a good guy. And Mechanic, she thought he was being mean to me, always a nice guy to me, I thought, but then I had to raise the point because there was the elephant in the room, and it's like, Jenny, his surviving widow, was one of our classmates. I'm sure it's a terrible time for her, but in this day and age, he would have gone to jail. I had to raise it.
Was Jenny on the mail serve? You switched from one dude you knew.
I did. The sub theme was men behaving badly, going back to this music instrument manufacturer guy, and you say it was a different time. Yeah, it was a different time.
It was open season on kids our age is what it fucking was.
Exactly,
and it was disgusting. When I was in high school, there were two coaches who were in early 20s. One of them was a really good history teacher and I think a good coach, but he would take the girls out on their 17th birthdays when they became legal.
Yeah.
And it was like harvesting. It was fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
And, totally predatory. At the same time, I had a good friend who was a guy who started dating the female art teacher after high school.
Yeah.
He started, they didn't do anything until he was in college. It still fucked him up for years, but I don't know that there should be criminal sanction against her. It's just
if he's over 18, they were in the clear, man.
Yeah,
they were
it was totally in the clear. Although now in Texas, if you're a teacher and you fuck a student, even if they're 18, you can do jail time.
On what grounds?
The grounds that they passed a law that if you're a teacher or anybody at the school, I think even janitors, and you have any relationship with a student, that it's a felony, which I think is pretty fucked up. And the only person I know that's done jail time on this is a woman, a white female woman in, I think, Arlington, Texas, whose husband was in Iraq. And I suspect they had some kind of game going on where she was having adventures and telling him about it. And she did a gangbang with 5 black guys from the football team and went to jail for it. To me, that is the most fucked up, 3 years and 5 years in prison. She has a 3-year-old daughter, and they're taking her away from her kids, mainly, I think, for screwing black dudes and for living a fucked up, perverted lifestyle that people.
Hey, easy,
whatever.
Buddy.
Okay,
I'm
not saying that's my opinion. I'm just saying that's right. And it's just, I don't know. I think they go way hard on these women that screw students in a way that's overboard.
Of course. It seems to me aggressively punitive. So you want equal rights, huh? It seems to me a good dollop of that. A good dollop.
And the business side of it, if you're a reporter, or you're in the news media, and if you have a sex crime and the victim's female, you can't publish any pictures of sexy women, right? Because they don't name the victims, and that's great. Perpetrator, and she's a sexy chick, 24-year-old teacher gets knocked up by a 13-year-old, was one I saw yesterday. Yep. They run her mugshot everywhere. They have slideshows of it, and it's totally disgusting and cannibalistic. Anyway, that's...
Yeah, maybe. I think that's when people make the decision about whether it was really abuse. If she's hot, they go, abuse. I need some of that abuse. And if she's not so hot, they go, that kid suffered.
Yeah. Well, did you see the movie with Nicole Kidman and I can't remember who else was in it, but where she was a teacher and she lured the kids into killing her husband and everything? And
that was a Gus Van Sant movie. Yeah.
That was a good one. And I think that there are cases where a hot woman can manipulate and fuck kids over, just like guys.
I have been asked by one woman to murder her husband.
Just one.
Just one.
And how far did you let that go?
I let it go pretty far, and then because I had to think, because
you wanted to sleep with her, and then you were.
Well, I had to think about it, and then finally I came to the conclusion because she kept pushing. I said, you realize if I kill him, it would discombobulate the power balance in our relationship. So the only way I could regain it is by killing you too, which makes it completely pointless, right?
I see. And she accepted that line of reasoning. Did she stop sleeping with you at that point?
No, not really, but yeah. But at that point, I think at that point there was a little bit of newfound respect, because
I see. Was there sort of a sob story about he beats me and he
cheats? No sob story. Just like he has tons of money. What if something were to happen to him? And I was like, ha ha ha, and she's like, ha ha, and then she stopped laughing first.
I see. Well, I'm glad to hear you pulled back from the brink.
I was a younger man then. It was a long time ago.
Indeed. Yes. All right. So, bantamweight, Dominick Cruz, Urijah Faber, bantamweight title.
Yeah,
fight should happen in 2012.
I'm picking Cruz. I'm picking Cruz. I care and I pick Cruz. I like the California kid. I mean, that chick is pretty hot. So sorry, I had to go for that again. I just can't. I can't get enough of that Urijah Faber as a chick thing. I love it. Yeah, I love his shtick. Glad handing to the judges, asking about their kids. I just, he is master of the game, really seems to love what he does, but time is not going backwards for him either. So
no, and he never had a skill set to beat Dominick Cruz ever.
No. So
I mean, so I got to pick Cruz too. And I don't know if Faber retires after this or what.
What the fuck else is he gonna do, man? This certainly affords him a certain levels of celebrity. I don't think he's not coming out of these fights looking like Hendo will come out of this fight. So if you don't feel bad seeing him, why wouldn't he stay? Why wouldn't he stay?
It's not like Cruz is gonna, unless Cruz really has turned a new leaf and starts stepping in on his punches.
I don't see Cruz doing that either. I mean, so in other words, Cruz is not going to beat him in a way that makes you feel sorry for Urijah Faber.
No. It's hard to think of a proposition where I'm going to feel sorry for Urijah Faber. But
yeah.
Now moving on, are we going to feel sorry for Michael Bisping after the middleweight championship fight when he challenges Luke Rockhold? Second time they fought, Rockhold smushed him the first time. Yeah. It hasn't been that long ago.
Yeah, I don't. I'm still not. I mean, Bisping has I don't know. Bisping has a record of crimes and misdemeanors against the sport politic that have never sat right with me. Starting with Matt Hamill, then punching the Puerto Rican guy in the nuts, and then I don't know, man. He's come around. I feel I'm lukewarm on him at best, but I don't think he's gonna. It's a good fight. He's talking it up. He saved the day. You don't feel as sad and weird as you would if it was actually Weidman in there. So I'm going for Rockhold again. He's a known associate, not actually been on the show, but plenty of AKA guys have, and Javier Mendez has been on the show. So I feel like he's a virtual friend to knuckle up. So I'm going to pick Rockhold. Plus, I know the skill set crushes. So
yeah, Rockhold is a monster at this point. I wish it was Jacare, but I understand, we want Jacare to fight healthy when he does get his next shot at Rockhold. But I'm not really seeing anybody in the division that's going to take the title away from Rockhold. We've seen Jacare and Rockhold before. I don't think anything's fundamental. I think they both dramatically improved their game, but I think it's just a matter of ratcheting up. And
I think Weidman has got to get in there. I mean, it was one of those things. But
I'm not looking for Weidman to beat Rockhold.
No.
Watching them fight the first time, it's just it's not going to happen.
No. I mean, I don't know. It was one of those weird things where I think that they probably was shocked to hear Weidman. It was like he said what? Oh sure, give him the fight. And then he's got this thing heard, and he with the whole you see, okay, right, okay, so my neck, right, okay, the neck thing, okay, I talked to this guy, this doctor that I met by the 7-Eleven, the Tasty Freeze, he said that the neck thing is ball. Son, it hurts my eyes. Okay, man, I got it. Next fight, right? Yeah. No, I'll be in shape for the next one. For sure. I'll see you.
Yeah, that was a sad chapter. It reminded me of my late Uncle Melvin, who would only see doctors who had lost their license from the AMA. And he would know they were quacks. He'd say, I was seeing this old quack I used to see up by Amarillo. But
well, was he doing prescription hunting? Is that what was happening? Or?
No, I don't think that's what it was. I think he was just deeply crazy. He later got booted out of the Mormon church, which he converted to after hearing the voice of God at the Mormon Tabernacle.
Okay.
But he later got booted out of the Mormon church for his own cosmology that he just couldn't shut up about. So.
Okay. All right. So all right. So you're picking Rockhold. We're picking Rockhold. So so on this card we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cares, man. That's a lot of cares.
And did we had one fight we disagreed about? Is that all?
I picked Breese, Alex Caceres, Andrade. Yeah, the woman fight.
Dariush, Vick. Oh wait.
No, the woman fight. You picked you picked Penne. I picked Andrade.
And I picked Vick against Dariush.
Did you?
I did.
I'll write down.
I resisted it, but then I just.
That's right. You did, and then Penne. Okay.
All right. Well, that's our show. Zane and Connor.
Zane, yeah.
We'll be back with the vivisection in just a couple hours. Then Zane and I'll be with the 6th round immediately after the fight. And Eugene will be back Sunday night, Monday morning with Knuckle Up. And
where I'll tell that terrible, terrible story about what happened to me as a result of staying up all night to do the fucking last Knuckle Up.
I see. Well, just don't. I'll cover my ears. Tell me when you're doing it on the show so I can tune out.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to know. All right. Yeah. And so it's a couple weeks before the next UFC fight night. I believe that's on June 18th. So we'll be back with If I Did It next week and all the stuff we do in off weeks. So adios, MMA aficionados. Remember, follow us on Twitter at KidNate, at Eugene S. Robinson. Give us a thumbs up. Eugene, how do you do it? Make a noise. That's not actually how you do it. You give it a thumbs up. There's a little icon below the screen.
This is how you do it for me.
That's how when you meet Eugene in public. Give him
do it. I'll salute you back.
All right, and so subscribe to MMANation.com on YouTube. Subscribe to MMA Nation on iTunes and SoundCloud. Read me on BloodyElbow.com. Read Eugene at Aussie.com and sometimes Vice's Fightland. Adios, MMA aficionados. Thanks, Eugene. We'll see you next time.
All right, man. Later. Bye.